Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. I know it's been kind of a troublesome week with the Hurricane Helene. It's been kind of sad because once again it's hit different areas too. But once again, and this is I think actually the eighth hurricane we've had so far as a storm. But once again with hurricanes we really can't avoid them. But what they do is just an update too, as I know now it's land-based too, coming up. I was just talking to a friend today earlier. He's in Atlanta, Georgia, and they had a lot of storms that came up too. Some trees came down, but the big thing what they had was about a lot of water. Okay, 10 inches of water. But once again, too, it comes up, and we can't avoid it, unfortunately. But once again, my heart goes out to people that were hit by hurricanes. As far as how the cruise industry adapts to this too, I think it's important to share what they do too. Is once again with cruise ships, they can actually reposition themselves so they're not in the way of the hurricanes itself. They can actually change the cruise line itineraries, of course, which they've been doing, being very, very safe out there too. And some cruise ships are coming a little bit later, but once again, you've got to make sure that they're safe too. That's what they do. They're very, very proactive about this too. Okay, and I think that we need to, what's going on too, because once again with the cruise ships too, I know that with Hurricane Helene, it sparked more delays as far as cruises sailing out. Just some updates right there too. I know that when it comes to Port Canaveral, it looks like the cruise ships were back. This is the latest information I was looking at both yesterday and today to prepare for my show today, Good Ship Happens. And I know that at midday yesterday, Port Tampa Bay was actually working with the U.S. Coast Guard, also surveying the shipping channels too, and also in Jacksonville, the Carnivation was expected to actually dock at Jacksport early Friday, today afternoon, and their next cruise ship, which is going to be departing later on today, will be shortened to a 3-day sailing to Freeport. When it comes to Port Canaveral, which is of course on the it'll be on the east side of Florida, the Carnival Elation. Jacksonville's on the other side, but anyway, when it comes to Jacksonville, of course, as mentioned, the Carnival Elation was going to be docking early today, and then the other ship should be sailing out on a shorter cruise. But with Port Canaveral, I know the Embassy Seashore did arrive Friday morning, this morning, which is great, or yesterday morning, and then once again, the Disney Wish, alongside the with Disney Cruise Line, was mentioning that their cruise ship might arrive later to embark. Okay, but what they do is the cruise lines, they adjust the cruise line itineraries. If the storms come up, they keep the ships at sea, they change the itineraries. They're very careful about docking because they're not going to dock during a hurricane. Okay, and I know that once again too is Carnival Cruise Line announced on the next cruise there's a delay, of course, too, and the terminal arrival would be, I think, delayed by maybe about 3 hours, and everybody would be needing to check in by 5 p.m. Okay, and I know that once again the Carnival Paradise, they mentioned it was going to arrive sometime on Saturday. Okay, also I know that Royal Caribbean announced that their Serenade of the Seas would be delayed to Tampa, would turn around on Sunday. Okay, so it's just good to kind of share those pieces of information too, because once again, hurricanes come up accidentally. We don't know when they're going to come up, but once again, this kind of hit the Caribbean Oceans first and was hitting on the Florida home post too, and it was a category hurricane storm, and it hit different areas too. It of course involved more cruise delays, of course. Some other updates too. I know that with Port Miami, of course, the Independence at Sea Royal Caribbean, their Thursday departure was delayed. The ship was now scheduled to visit Perfect Day at Coco Cay, their private island, on Sunday rather than Friday. The Carnival Sunrise was going to, they embarked passengers on Thursday, but they'll remain docked until weather conditions allow it to depart too, and this would not affect the cruise ship's arrival to Half Moon Cay on Saturday, their Promenade Island. Also, Allure of the Seas arrival to Miami on Friday today was going to be delayed, and the Carnival Horizon, which visited Amber Cove Thursday instead of Cozumel, was going to be returning to Miami this Saturday, tomorrow. And once again, too, with Port Canaveral, there were a lot of delays for ships scheduled for Friday turnabouts at Port Canaveral. As mentioned, the Disney Wish would be arriving later than usual. And once again, Disney Cruise Line asked passengers to postpone their arrival to the terminal 5 hours after they selected their next arrival time, but no later than 7 p.m. And once again, just different things they do too. But once again, the cruise lines have been very, very safe about making sure their ships stay out of the path of the Hurricane Helene. Also, they might have delayed some embarkations, disembarkations too. Once again, though, too, is now Hurricane Helene has actually been working into landside too. So I will keep you updated next week too. But once again, too, it just when hurricanes come up, and hurricane season actually goes from May through November. We don't know. I mean, this is like the 8th hurricane storm we've had so far this year. Once again, though, like I said, in this case, it did involve in some cruise delays at Florida home ports. Now it's actually moving up into the U.S., including North Carolina. Of course, I know that Georgia had some issues. A lot of rain that was moving up to, I think, to Nashville, Tennessee, but a lot of storms and weather, that kind of stuff too. So once again, too, it's good to keep a pulse on hurricanes. Another thing that's very, very important too is make sure that you do purchase travel insurance, because we don't know what's going to go on. Another thing that comes up too is cruise lines, because they can actually move ships around. It's a little bit safer to consider taking a cruise maybe rather than going to a beautiful resort in the Caribbean, especially during hurricane season, because we don't know what's going to go on. But once again, make sure you do purchase travel insurance separately through a separate insurance company. I like Allianz. I've been using them for years separately. You can actually purchase an insurance policy for your cruise trip, but also they have a year-long policy, which I purchased too, because once again, if you're traveling, things can come up and you kind of get stuck somewhere too. So I always purchase that every year. It's a separate policy. And once again, like I said, hopefully we're getting to this latest Hurricane Helene, and people are being a little bit more safe too. But definitely keep that in mind, because once again, it's just very important to be safe out there. Cruise lines can change their ship itineraries. Maybe they're going to be coming in a bit later than expected, whatever, or canceling a cruise too. Once again, they will compensate people for that too. So once again, just an update on that too, because once again, this has been a very, very strong hurricane. It's leveled a stage 4 hurricane. So just wanted to keep you aware of that too. And any more updates, I'll be sharing them next week on my episode Good Ship Happens, okay? But it's so sad when hurricanes come through. Once again too, is with ships, they can move things around as far as their itineraries. So keep that in mind too, especially if we're going through hurricane season, okay? I mean, resorts are beautiful places to go to too. I've been there, but once again too, is the best time maybe visit a resort would be doing that when it's not during hurricane season. Just be safe, okay? As far as just more positive news, okay, this was kind of fun too, is there's a really fantastic restaurant called Italy. And what they're doing is, this just came out this week, that the world's only Italy at Sea is going to be taking place, debuting on the MSC World America. That's MSC Cruises' newest ship. Should be coming out next year in April. And they just made the announcement because the MSC World America is their flagship coming out next year. And she's going to be featuring the only Italy restaurant at sea when she's in her service next year. And what they're doing is, MSC Cruises is partnering with Italy. It's really a global ambassador when it comes to high quality Italian cuisine and wine. And once again, it's kind of fun. They're actually offering on the new ship, the MSC World America. And what's great, it kind of really combines well with MSC Cruises, because once again, they've got that Italian pulse anyway. And they are really an international cruise line, but they got this strong European heritage too. Once again, too, is they also have this Italian type pulse too on board their ships too. And once again, with the MSC World America, she really stays true to their philosophy, and this is why they partner with Italy. And an emblem of made in Italy, and also the Italian culinary artistry too, which is great too. And it's going to be offering high quality, authentic food made with fresh ingredients. And together they're really creating a really unique experience that can only be enjoyed on board their new MSC World America coming out next year. I actually got invited to be on the christening cruise of the World America next year too. I'm really excited about it too. I've sailed on several other MSC cruise ships too, which is great too. But it's just really exciting about this new partnership they've got with Ely. And once again, the fun thing is, Ely does have restaurants in different places. There's actually one in Chicago. Yes, I've driven by it several times, and the cuisine looks phenomenal. I know that with MSC Cruises, they did have Ely on one of their other ships a long time ago. And once again, too, they've just announced this new partnership with Ely, and so she'll be on board the new MSC World America coming out next year. That's their new flagship. They call them flagships too, which is great. And once again, guests that are sailing on the World America can really enjoy this authentic Italian cuisine experience on Italy. And like I said, they're going to have other restaurants too, but this was an announcement they just made this week, which is great. September 25th is when I got the announcement, so it was really exciting too. And like I said, it's going to feature a menu on board that really kind of spans the pillars of Italian cuisine. And once again, it's really a celebration of the Italian culture and tradition. And also, I know that they've got some other specialty restaurants on board their new MSC World America coming out next year. They've got this new Pastos Greek restaurant too, and it'll be in their Promenade district. And this will actually transport guests to a Mediterranean type cuisine too. Also, they've got they call it dining on the go, which is kind of fun too. I mean, you're not going to be getting off the ship, of course, but they call it dining on the go. They've got their new Paxos on the go, and this will be located in their Promenade district, which is has their Paxos Terrace, and they're going to be offering different types of bites for guests to enjoy. It's a little small additional choice, but it's going to be authentic Greek favorites. Also, they got their new Promenade Bites, which is going to include hot dogs, chili dogs, street corn. Yes, street corn, that's fun, isn't it? Also, corn on the cob. Oh my gosh, corn on the cob. And also, they've got their cotton candy. Also got their new Harbor Bar and Bites. This is going to be having some really savory snacks, such as burritos, corn dogs, wraps. They've got their La Boca Grill, and that's a really great spot if you want to maybe grab pizza, which is great. Also got their Luna Park Pizza and Burger, and that's going to be serving American classics, also with options throughout the day and at night too. So definitely keep that in mind too, because once again, with the MSC World America, she's going to launch in April of 2025 next year, and she'll spend her inaugural season sailing from Port Miami and going to the Caribbean. And her itineraries all include Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, which is their private out island in the Bahamas. I've been there, it's gorgeous. So definitely keep that in mind. But I just saw news about them having a partnership with Ely. It's Italian cuisine too, which is great. And once again, it's going to be the world's only Ely at sea, making her debut. Okay, but that's good too. I think it's good to share our food because once again, the cuisine that you have to enjoy on cruise ships is wonderful, and you got so many choices. Of course, there's some specialty restaurants. You pay additional for that too, but also you've got different choices as far as other areas to eat and dine that are complimentary too, which is great. And just a great way to really kind of experience different types of cuisine on a cruise ship too. Something else that was interesting too was, we did another special, kind of like a new ship coming out with Princess Cruises, and what they do is they do this construction milestone flown out ceremony. Princess Cruises has their Star Princess coming out. I believe she's coming out fall of 2025. And what they do is they just did this special construction milestone float out ceremony. Of course, the ship's not going to be sailing out till next year, but they do that in advance. The ship is still being built. And it's called it's going to be called their Star Princess. Right now, their other ship that's pretty new is their Sun Princess. But once again, too, is the Star Princess is their second ship of their new Sphere-class ships. The Sun Princess is the first Sphere-class ship. She's been sailing, of course. And they just did this, kind of like this special event float-out ceremony, too, which is great, too. And additionally, on the Star Princess, she's a sister ship to their Sun Princess. As far as her size, people ask me that too. She accommodates 4,300 guests. She's 178,000 gross registered tons. She's the second new Sphere-class ship for Princess Cruises, and she's also being powered by liquefied natural gas. She's a sister ship to the Sun Princess, which actually debuted in February, and really is hailed as the next love boat, featuring the iconic, elegant structures that Princess Cruises is known for, as well as really delivering an evolution as far as the brand, too. She's got their Dome, which is the cruise industry's first feature on the top deck. Also the Sphere, which is actually a suspended glass sphere piazza at the center of the cruise ship. And the Arena, which is the most technically advanced theater at sea. And the fun thing is, I actually have a friend right now who is sailing on the Sun Princess. Yes. He had to fly over to Great Britain, London, over the weekend. He's now on the Sun Princess. We talked briefly when he could on Monday, and they're doing different itineraries, including Spain, the Canary Islands, and then they will be sailing, of course, across the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, for several days. He'll relax, believe me, and enjoy a little cake by the ocean, of course, too. But then they'll be coming back to the United States. I think they're docking in Port Miami, but I will give you more updates on that too. So once again, it's kind of fun that they got their second Sphere-class ship, the Star Princess, which will debut actually next year in fall 2025. So keep that in mind too, because new ships are always fun, aren't they? Something else too that came up that I want to share too is I've been hearing a lot about this too. I mean, we depend on our mobile devices, right, all the time, okay? I mean, we can't live without our phones, right? We live with them, right? Also, people take their small laptops, their Chromebooks, whatever, but the point is, one that came up too, I want to explain in a very, very transparent way is travelers are going to Mexico. What they're doing is, and this came up a couple times, I've got a business friend, he's got his company called Johnny Jet. He shares all these insider tips too, but once again, the Mexican customs regulations, they limit travelers to one portable computer. This includes laptops, tablets, per foreign arrival. So bringing more than one device can result up to fines of up to 19% of the device's deemed value. And he mentioned in his article, and I didn't know about this, but thank God I know about this now. I can share it with you, just like a good little insider tip, okay? But once again, he mentioned one traveler was actually fined approximately $200 for carrying both a laptop and an iPad through the Cancun International Airport, despite traveling to Mexico multiple times without an issue in the past. And it's important that people traveling need to be aware of this local customs rules before they enter Mexico, especially with electronics. And these regulations being enforced, of course, and can lead to unexpected fines too. In a story that he found in USA Today, he mentioned that Mexican customs regulations only allows one portable computer per foreign arrival, including laptops and tablets. And the article mentioned that the Florida-based Tammy Levant never imagined that after that bringing both of her laptop and iPad through customs at the Cancun International Airport for a work trip in June would involve approximately $200 fee. And as article mentioned that Tammy Levant, she's a well-known person, had visited Cancun 2 or 3 times a year for work for the past decade, but once again, when she arrived into the airport this time, she had 2 check-in suitcases and a carry-on with her, and while going through customs, she was flagged by one of the tables where her luggage was examined by the agent. The agent pulled out her iPad and her laptop and said, "You can't have both." I mean, I think I would have fainted, but they said, okay. She said she's brought these devices with her before, and this is the first time this is actually an issue. So once again, bring this up to you to listen and make sure that be very, very careful. I know that with Johnny Jet, he travels like crazy, different places. And but USA Today mentioned in their article that there's no limit on how many laptops you can fly with, but many passengers don't know that Mexican customs regulations only allows one portable computer per foreign arrival, including laptops and tablets. Otherwise, travelers face taxes up to 19% of the deemed value up to $4,000 per device. Oh my gosh. According to the country's general rules of foreign trade, under baggage and passenger allowance too. And once again, it just goes back to just understanding you got to be careful with this too. When it comes to goods for personal use, such as clothing, footwear, and hygiene and beauty products, that provide they're consistent with the duration of the trip too. Once again, they mention, like I said, 2 cameras or video recording cameras, photographic equipments too. But once it goes back to rules and regulations when it comes to more than one device. So once again, keep this in mind. If you would be flying into Mexico, anywhere in Mexico, you cannot have more than one device with you, okay? Because once again, you get fined. So I want to share this because once again, this is good information. I wasn't aware of this either. So once again, it's through customs, but you get fined if you bring multiple electronic devices through customs. So please keep this in mind. They mention iPads and tablets. I haven't really found anything as far as iPhones, but once again, it'd be good to check that too, because once again, we depend on our iPhones too. But once again, keep this in mind. So if you are traveling internationally and flying to Mexico and back, be careful, recheck the policies, because with customs right now, this just came up, it's in the regulations, you're limited to one portable computer that includes laptops or tablets per foreign arrival. So keep it in mind too, because I wasn't aware of this. It was kind of scary. Just kind of scared me once again. It's good to know what's going on as far as the regulations and being safe out there too. That's just really, I think, kind of important too. Okay. Something came up too, kind of fun. I missed out on seeing it myself, unfortunately, but I guess, because I usually try and fly out of Chicago Midway Airport, but they just opened up at Chicago Midway Airport. They launched their first ever airport lounge. It's called the Club MDW, which stands for Midway. But it's Chicago Midway's first ever airport lounge, the Club MDW Midway. And once again, for the first time in its 96-year history, yes, Midway Airport's been around for 96 years. Their initial airport, they're home to an airport lounge. And on Wednesday, they opened up this new Club MDW. It's a 3,265 square foot lounge. It's going to be becoming the latest outpost in the club's growing network too. And the space is going to be open daily from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's available to anybody actually flying from Midway Airport. As far as how you get access to it, this is kind of fun because once again, I'm going to be flying out of Midway Airport myself a couple times later on this year. So definitely keep in mind too. Travelers who have a priority pass will enjoy free access to the club MDW, and the day passes will also be available to Midway passengers with a valid departing boarding pass for $50. And once again, the fact this is the first shared use lounge in Midway's airport's 96-year history, they said we need to do something special. And so the fact that we could do this first is a really special moment for us too. And what happens is Chris Golamian is the Vice President of Global Business Development for Airport Dimensions. And he said this in an interview with the Points Guy, which is great. It's a publication. So the lounge itself is located at the Midway's Central Market, which is at the intersection of concourses A and B. It's designed to really draw inspiration from Chicago's Art Deco and mid-century modern architectural styles. Also has some features with eye-catching designs. I saw some pictures that look gorgeous. And once again, in addition with the design, the lounge also features photography by two renowned local artists, Mark Hirsch, also Angie McMonigal, and these pictures of Chicago's urban landscape further local touches that the club really has built in this space too. So it's really been really uniquely designed. It looks beautiful. I had a chance to go see it, but I was busy. I definitely want to see this lounge. It looks great. Also, as far as the highlights, it has various different seating options, from seats designed to unwind to more productive, inspired workstations. The club says that 90% of seats in the new lounge are going to be equipped with power outlets, which is fantastic because once again, you need to power up, right? We do that at the airport, and sometimes it's hard to find a place to power up your mobile device, whatever. I always take my own private mobile charger too, but once again, the club has also partnered with a few local food and beverage outlets for dining options. This includes offering craft beers from Revolution Brewing and also the Two Brothers Brewing Company, alongside spirits from Chicago-based Koval Distillery. And also the menu really reflects the city's vibrant culinary scene on the buffet. As far as the lounge itself, its focal point will be the bar, where travelers can actually enjoy a complimentary signature cocktails such as the Chicago Fizz and the Southside. And of course, it's got, the size is actually 3,300 square feet. So once again, it's going to be pretty busy, okay? But they said there are only seats for about 76 passengers. And once again, they've got their priority pass program. You would have to pay $50 for that. Once again, I think the line to get into the lounge might be kind of long, especially during peak times and areas too. Once again, I think looks like a fantastic space. It's just looks really relaxing. I've seen pictures that look gorgeous. What a beautiful lounge area too. Because once again, with Midway Airport, they're primarily served by Frontier Airlines and Southwest Airlines, and they don't offer their own lounges. I know if you tend to fly, for instance, American, United, major airlines, if you got priority status with them too, you can actually use their own private lounge areas too. I've done that before with a friend. Once again, too, is it's I said they would have liked to have more space. Once again, who knows, they might have a chance to grow too. But it's really exciting for Midway Airport to actually get its first airport lounge. And I definitely want to see it when I actually am flying to Fort Lauderdale and Miami coming up in October, November. And I definitely will have a chance to take a look at it too, just to see what it's like too. I know they introduced a system, it's called their Wait While, which allows people to digitally manage when there isn't availability capacity at the time. And then they will actually be able to text people and they can go off and enjoy the concourse too. So once again, keep that in mind because it is actually called the Club MDW. MDW stands for Midway, but it's Chicago Midway Airport's first ever airport lounge. It just opened up this week. And as mentioned, the space is open daily from 4 a.m. until 10 p.m. And it's available to anybody actually flying from Midway. However, people that want to get free access would have to carry a priority pass to access the Club Midway, MDW, and day pass is also available, as mentioned, with a valid departing boarding pass for $50. But it sounds great, so definitely keep that in mind, because I know that other airports do have priority lounges for people that maybe fly American, United. They have their own priority lounges too, but with other airlines, they don't do this. This is a really kind of fun thing too, and I'm really excited to see what's going on with it too. So definitely keep it in mind, because once again, it's a new airport lounge called the Club MDW at Midway, Chicago Midway Airport. Yes, and I will check it out in October, November, and let you know what it looks like. It sounds fantastic. Something else that came up too is I know that Southwest Airlines is working on some updates. Okay, so I'm going to provide some updates. Since the very beginning of Southwest Airlines, starting about 50 years ago, what they did was they didn't do assigned seating. Okay, what you did is you could actually pick your own seat. They had you board in different times, usually A boarding, B boarding, C boarding. And in my case, then you could actually do your pre-boarding thing, you pay a little more money, but I do that all the time. That way I can at least get into the boarding area A or B. You get on a plane, you actually pick your own seat. What they decided too is they've been working on some things to maybe change some things with Southwest Airlines. And what they're doing now too is they're going to be going to assigned seating, okay? And they made this announcement this week, and it's going to be assigned seating. They won't be implementing this until I think 2026 right now. But once again, it's going to be having, of course, their assigned seating is going to replace their open seating policy. And also what they're doing too is they're going to retrofit their aircraft with their first extra legroom seats. Also, they expect, it's just on Thursday, they expect it, they'll be selling assigned seats second half of next year, and the first flights opening up with a new model with having assigned seats will be the first half of 2026. And like I said, the new boarding pass really maintains their position numbers, okay, with the numbered signage posts within the gate areas too. And once again, premium customers and holders of premium class seats will board first. And also, their extra legroom seats will offer up to 5 inches of additional space between the rows. They haven't really mentioned too much more about reducing the legroom for standard seats. Secondly, what's good too is this was really exciting too is with Southwest Airlines, you always get to check and not get charged for 2 checked bags. That is continuing on. So Southwest Airlines, they're going to continue their policy of allowing customers to check 2 bags free of charge, not charge you per check bag, which is great. And of course, 1 carry-on bag plus a personal item. But that's really, I think, kind of fun too, because once again, I think, and something else too, I know they're going to do too on their new aircraft too. I was communicating with one of their execs just last week. He mentioned they're going to be actually expanding their other bin area too, because we've talked about that too. So once again, launching assigned seats with Southwest Airlines is going to take place in 2026. They're not going to charge for your 2 checked bags. And once again, as far as the new seats, they'll have more space. That's good too. And once again, something else too is, like I said, you can actually do your preferred seat assignment, so you can actually pick your seat in advance. They won't start doing that till maybe later on in 2025, and they will implement this in 2026. And once again, I know that people that are A-lists actually can select their new premium seats for free. They'll also get early boarding. Numbers part of their working areas too. And once again, I know that with their lowest level, they're called Want to Get Away seats, tickets. They won't come with a free boarding selection. However, it sounds like maybe you could actually look at maybe not doing their getaway tickets, and then maybe check into doing something maybe a little bit different type of fare. That we can actually get the assigned seats too, which is great too. So once again, we're going to put in a seat too. And once again, it's good because once again, they won't be launching their science seeds until 2026. And also, oh, they're actually doing some partnerships. That's kind of fun too. That was some other fun news too. Is I know they've got a new partnership with an international airline, and they plan to grow this too. Also, what they're doing too is I know that they've got their what they're doing is in the past they've also had their Southwest Airlines vacations. They're working with a tour operator, Apple. It's AIG, I think. But anyway, what they're doing now is they've got they have their own trips too. That's been coming up by the next year or two. But I'll keep you informed on that too, because once again, it's just I think kind of good. It's good to be me have a assigned seat in advance rather than kind of pick and choose your seats. Sometimes it's a little crazy, and so definitely keep it in mind too. Okay, so it's good to know what's going on too. Something else that we have had this week, actually today's a special day. It's actually celebrating World Tourism Day. Okay, World Tourism Day is actually today, September 27th, and it really celebrates the cultures around the world. So actually what people don't realize is that it's a celebration of World Tourism Day. Cruise lines are celebrating this different ways too. One that came up today too is actually with Costa Cruises. They've been around for 75 years with their ships. And with their Tourism Day, which is actually today, they were celebrating different ways too. With Costa ships, they explore the Mediterranean, of course, Northern Europe, the Caribbean, South America, also Asia, Dubai, and also the Canary Islands. And they really have different cultures that they go to, which is great too. And once again, their destinations are not just tourist ones. They're really made up of people with identity, history, and culture, and communities. And it's really important to, I think, celebrate the nature of the places that they visit, what makes them unique, and then, of course, protecting their future too. So World Tourism Day is a way to spotlight the how new tourism really supports the local economies too. Yeah. Excuse me. During each of their voyages, what Costa is doing is they're promoting local customs throughout these culinary flavors, entertainment, short excursions too. And got a list of things too, which is extensive, but that'd be good to fun share that too, because once again, it's World Tourism Day. It's a way to really explore the world in different ways too. And Costa Cruises just announced what they're doing right now to celebrate this, which is great too. I know they mentioned, okay, with Italy, because Costa is actually an Italian cruise line with the Italian focus too, with their cuisine and everything. But I know that with Very Italy right now, they're offering different types of foods, which include different types of Italian cuisine. I know that with Dubrovnik, Croatia, they've got shrimp tartare, marinated in white wine, garlic, parsley, and citrus and pepper. Also, Norway, they've got grilled lamb chops. They've got crunchy ceratic confit, also herring reduction. In Lisbon, Portugal, they've got their brand of cod au gratin with Italian sausage and breadcrumbs. And with Costa Cruise Line Sea Destinations, they really make that travel experience more unforgettable. And these are off the map type of destinations that are discovered on board the ship at sea. This comes up through their out of ordinary experiences with iconic plates, including Costa's routes. Example, their sea destinations, of course, would be cuisine. So, for instance, some examples as far as cuisine, as far as the sea destinations, they've got the French breakfast at dawn. And as the ship sails just National Park near Marseille, guests can enjoy French breakfast on board with music, coffee, and croissants. Also, Sunset Reggae Party. This really is, well, guests can be immersed into the atmosphere of the Caribbean when the ship departs from Kingstown, Jamaica, with irresistible rum cocktails and the warmth of sunset. Also, they've got dessert on the sea. Who doesn't like dessert on the sea? I do, okay? It's a little bit more like better than just cake by the ocean. Yes, on board a ship. So we've got dessert of the seas, and at the heart of the Gulf of Oman, the ship really transforms into a really, really beautiful sea oasis for their 1,001 nights. Luxurious tents, belly dancers, enchanting music. Also, feet really enveloped by the atmosphere of the desert. And once again, guests can take part in their shore excursions, which are great immersive ones too. But I think it's kind of fun to really celebrate World Tourism Day on Costa Cruises, which
It
is
sounds like
today.
a fun, sounds like a fun time and everything. But you said that they were going to have belly dancers on the cruise as well. So I guess there's all kinds of entertainment. But I know you often
Yes,
kind of talk about that. They've
yes,
got everything from magicians to definitely jugglers, and apparently on some cruises there are belly dancers as well. And I think they even offer some dance classes. I've heard of cruises where they offer
yes.
like salsa, where they offer
Mm-hmm.
swing dancing, or they offer other kinds of classes as well.
Oh, it is. This sounds so much fun too. I found it today, and I thought, okay, today is World Tourism Day. It's like, how excited to share this because once again, cruise lines really celebrate world tourism in different ways too,
Right.
and they bring the culture on board the ship, which is great too. Which is great because once again, when you're on board the ships, of course, the entertainment is free.
Yes.
They don't charge you to see shows. I mean, I'm not bad mouthing other places you can go to and relax, including Vegas. Okay, but once again, I was out to Vegas a couple times for different conferences. Once again, they gave us free tickets to see a show. But the point is, if you had bought tickets for the show, how much would you pay?
Right. It costs
And
a
cruise
lot to
ships
go to
have their own
Vegas shows.
entertainment,
That might be
which is
some places
complimentary.
$100 or even more. So yeah, because Vegas shows can be very expensive.
Yes, definitely. And it's just I think kind of interesting to see what they're doing too is entertainment. They keep adding more to, and of course we've got the New Vision's got the new ship coming out next year. Okay, um, that's their Luna. No, she's being actually she's debuting. I think 2026. It's their second Prima class ship, and she'll be debuting in 2026. Norwegian Luna. Well, it's a Prima class ship, and with Norwegian Cruise Line years and years ago, um, cruise lines really started to ramp up with entertainment. It was great. I mean, you can see ships on board the cruise ship. You can see the shows on the cruise ships too, which is great too. And even when I sailed on different cruise lines too, I mean, I'm trying to think what ship it was, but I mean, we actually had oh, I'm trying to think what shows were on board. It was amazing. They were Broadway shows, productions on board cruise ships. They all do that, and they do more than that too. It just the entertainment is fantastic. It's complimentary, and it's great.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like you said, and there are all kinds of different type of cruises. Because I mentioned to you before that I know that there are minority oriented cruises. Because I know some people that have thought about going on those, or themed cruises that are dealing with music and all along those lines.
Right.
And even cruises that might be for different lifestyles that some people might be interested in or not interested in. Because I had heard that there was even something called spicyvacations.com. So I guess that folks that are into the opposite of diversion, which is all kids, but then we're into like wanting adult fun. There are some cruises that are geared to that. There's something called
Right.
Blizzard Voyage of the Seas Swinger Cruise, which is apparently in April of next year and everything like that. There are cruises for people that have a different lifestyle choices, whatever those lifestyle choices might be.
But the music and the entertainment is just phenomenal. It really is. And the thing is, what I like too is with Royal Caribbean, they've got their beautiful place. They've got this pool area, the one part of the ship too. What they do is they got the big screen. And during the day, they show movies on the big screen,
Yeah.
which is beautiful. Okay. At nighttime, they have their water shows, which is great too. But also, and I know with Princess Cruises years ago, they actually started doing movies on board their ships outdoors, and there was it was a big screen, and it was actually in the pool area too. We had a lot of places to sit, relax, whatever. And they actually did nighttime movies. And what they did was we did one time where they actually it's nighttime debut of their different movies they showed at night. Of course, we actually had a chance to get free popcorn. Okay,
Yep.
free drink, popcorn. It wasn't too chilly, but we had free blankets too. So as we got through dinner real quick, ran out there to get our seat, watch a movie at sea.
And
It was
apparently,
great.
yeah, that's interesting. Some of these cruises, apparently, you can go back in time. It's one of those I was seeing that was one of those adult only cruises and everything we're talking about. That they have something called lingerie night, but they also have high school drama night. So apparently, you can go back to your high school days and let out your inner high school person, or let out what you wish you had done back in high school, and all along those lines. So that was something that apparently something called
Right.
Temptation was offering. Temptation Cruises, which was a
Oh,
4 night
amazing.
was
It was
going to
amazing.
Cancun.
I can't speak more highly of entertainment about cruises. Once again, too, you got so many choices. You know, all most of the cruise lines now have their outdoor theaters right by the pool area, big screens. Okay, watch movies, entertainment. Okay, but also got indoor areas too, and it's just beautiful what they've done as far as the entertainment indoors is still phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm
yeah,
laughing because
there
I know
people are
that a lot of these
invincible.
cruises have fitness centers, and one of the things that this particular cruise line was saying was, if you're trying to keep your diet in check, this particular cruise offers a full air-conditioned fitness center. It's a great place to get your exercise in before the day's activity, and it will help you make healthier menu choices later. Plus, a 20-minute workout in the morning makes it easier for you to say no to desserts. So definitely, I guess they're saying that they got that particular cruise has 7 restaurants and bars ranging from casual to fine dining with some
Right.
specialty restaurants. And I know a lot of them have those and everything, but whether it's this type of cruise or whether it's one of those that is minority oriented or whatever it is, look like they've got some fitness rooms so that if you indulge yourself too much, you can go and burn off the calories.
They do. I mean, they all have fitness centers. They've expanded us like crazy. And I believe how big the fitness centers are too. And one, you know, a lot of cruise lines that have fitness centers, but actually, they're just not in a closed area. You got the big window walls, so you can actually work out watching the ocean from the windows, which is great.
Yeah.
And also, they've got tracks to walk to. I've done that myself too. They start doing these tracks. You actually, it's on the upper levels, but it's upper level area. Actually, kind of do a little walk around the pool area too. Special tracks too. So different ways to really get your exercise in. Okay, now once again, too, the cruise ships are bigger now, so you get more walking steps in.
Mhm.
But once again, it's just great because you got options as far as fitness centers and ways to work out different places too. Beautiful areas too. So it's not just getting stuck in maybe a fitness center. You know, they've got beautiful areas. It's beautiful too.
Yeah, they got beautiful areas, and like you said, sometimes they're also good because you're going on those cruises that have off the cruise excursions. You can also get in some good walking depending on where you're going and everything. Because sometimes they'll have you going on tours, and some of those tours are some pretty decent walking. Because I know the one cruise I went off, we stopped in Puerto Rico and we stopped in Grand Turks, and I do know there were parts of that that we did some pretty good walking and everything because we were trying to get our back to the ship in time, but then you had time to walk around certain areas.
Oh, beautiful. Like I said, it's better to do that maybe I think with the trip itself. I mean, take a short excursion
Mhm.
because
Right.
once again, you get back on the ship. Because the point is, if you take your own tour, the problem is if you get off the ship and you don't make back the ship's not going to wait for you.
Right.
You got
That
to
is
get
very
on
true.
your own. You know,
Yeah.
so you got to be very very
You got to
careful
have
with
your
that
head.
too. It's just be careful. Take. I mean, people say I want to go. No, take a short excursion through the cruise line itself because if the short excursion gets delayed and suffered by the cruise line, they will hold the ship. So you don't
Yeah.
make the ship have to play catch up.
We don't want to do that. I'm going to turn it back over to you. Still got about maybe 10, 15 minutes, but I'll turn it back over to you whenever you're ready. We're here with Dr. Sylvia.
Right. Okay. But as far as nighttime entertainment, like I said, Norwegian Cruise Line, they all really started adding more shows on board their cruise ships too. It's amazing what they do as far as entertainment. They do, of course, the water shows, um, but also the shows that get entertainment in the outdoor areas by the pool area, which is great. Special shows, which is great too, and also just experiences are phenomenal too. And you never get bored. Believe me, you never get bored on a cruise ship. There's so much to do and explore. You can pick and choose what you want to do, but that's important too, because once again, it's really a great way to really visit beautiful places in, of course, the Caribbean, the world, whatever. And then you still stay on the ship because the ship is actually your home at sea, which is great. Also, it's a great way to really just embody different cultures too, which is great too. Even, for instance, the river cruise lines too. They really do phenomenal things too, because once again, with the river cruise line ships, they're smaller ships, of course. They have to navigate the waters and the rivers, of course, too. But what they do is they dock right there and get right off, do your tours, whatever. Plus, with the river cruise line ships too, is a lot of times they'll stay later too, which is great. And do nighttime events too, so you don't have to worry about getting back on the ship by a certain time period too, like 5 o'clock, whatever, when they pull out. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, sometimes people think, I'm going to get bored. No. There's so much to do, and you can pick and choose what you want to do. Plus cuisine, you've got different places to eat, which are fantastic. As mentioned, we've got the new restaurant coming aboard, the new MSC World American come out next year, Italy. Yes, look up Italy, okay? Great cuisine restaurant. And you've got choices. You know, if you want casual dining, formal dining, specialty restaurants, which is great too. If you want to get coffee, whatever, but it's just great because once again, there's so many options out there. I can pick and choose, and I always tell people, you know, maybe pick a couple of nights, maybe you want to do a specialty restaurant. Just enjoy the cuisine there too, because we've got great chefs on board ships, and they really do a great job too. But once again, there's so much as far as nightlife on board cruise ships. It's amazing what they do too. I can spend hours just talking about that too, but I'll share more about that later on too, my future episodes too. Plus, what's really good too is a lot of choices, and I'm just so glad that also, especially the way we're getting through this Hurricane Helene. Thank goodness for that. Cruise ships moving around. I feel my heart goes out to people that are implemented by Hurricane Helene as she's coming into the U.S. states too, because they've got a lot of damage in water too. Once again too, just keep focused on positive things too. And one quick thing before we finish out, of course, is I know with Virgin Voyages, okay, that's the cruise line. We have to be 18 years or older, okay, no kids allowed, right? But they mentioned some things about their summer season for 2025, and it really, some interesting things too is, once again, with Virgin Voyages, I got a chance to actually see their first ship, the Scarlet Lady, in 2021, when she actually came to Port Miami for sailing. And they've got these beautiful hammocks for people to enjoy. And like I said, their ship was just beautiful with different types of entertainment on board. But once again, too, is you got to pick and choose where you want to dine. They didn't have the big dining rooms. The entertainment was fantastic. Plus, one place I loved too was actually this ice cream parlor called Lick Me Till. Yes, it was great. And I know that they got different things too that they're doing too. They've got some things that they're doing with their ships too. I know they just were doing some renovations on the Scarlet Lady. She's only a couple years old, but they're doing some renovations on that too. Once again, too, is they've got some different discounts going on too. And for cruises, you need to get it booked pretty quickly, and that'd be for some discount for cruises through August 10th of 2026. And once again, with Virgin Voyages, they don't call their guests cruise guests. They call their guests sailors. So once again, it's a great way to be a sailor on a ship, because like I mentioned, Richard Branson, the founder and owner of Virgin Voyages, had never even taken a cruise when he decided to start Virgin Voyages, and he calls them sailors and mates. But definitely take a look, I think, at Virgin Voyages too. It's adults only 18 years older, but the ships are gorgeous. Different, diverse entertainment, dining included too, which is great. So definitely keep that in mind too. And then when you're ready, of course, we can actually show my video at the end. Once again, I do like what MSC Group is doing, and also Explorer Journeys, their newest luxury cruise line ship, which launched last year. And the Explorer 2 was just christened about a week ago too, which is great. And we'll show the video shortly. That's great too. because once again, with Explorer Journeys, their mindset is the ocean life to sea too. I'll be writing about the new ship coming up, and shortly. It just was debuted, christened about a week ago, September 15th. It looks fantastic, and I'm currently writing about it, waiting for some photographs too. But I think it's phenomenal what they're doing too, because they really, really are finding ways to really make sure that they're doing things to really keep ocean life alive, which is great too. And that's one thing they do with their MSC Foundation, plus what they've done also with their private out island. Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve is fantastic. I got a chance to go there a couple years ago when they actually had us sail on their new ship, and that's what the ship was christened. And they did a sand cutting there. We were there because they're building their new lab there too, which is great. So they're doing some really phenomenal things, which is great too. Because once again, they're working very hard, as all cruise ships are doing now too, as far as making sure that we do keep the ocean life, the seas alive too. And that's why, of course, several years ago they eliminated plastic straws. They recycle like crazy, and it's ways to really, really preserve our ocean life at sea too, which is great too. And their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve is a beautiful example of what they're doing. Such a beautiful place to go to. I can't wait to get back there too. It was great. Plus with MSC Cruises, their ships that usually sail on the Caribbean cruises actually stop there. And it's in the Bahamas, which is great. It's a private out island. They leased it for 100 years. They renovate like crazy. And it's just very relaxing. The ships dock right there. And because it's in the Bahamas, it's very close to their U.S. ports. So they stay longer, which is great. And we know...
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer One, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and Explorer Journeys and the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.